Well, hello everyone. I hope you're keeping well. This podcast is going to be talking about the whole area of cyberbullying, which is a real concern and becoming more so with the growth of social media and the way that different kinds of media online affect people. We know that bullying is quite a problem across the country and has been for a long time, but people are suffering online in more different ways than they were before. So what do we mean by this word cyberbullying? Well, cyberbullying is known to be a form which humiliates, embarrasses or harasses a person through social media, the internet and mobile phones. What does cyberbullying involve then? Well, it can mean sending messages that are very upsetting to a person, either directly or in a group chat or in a shared space online. Harming a person by creating these kind of fake accounts by using their name to post messages and also to share content that is abusive about them. Making and sharing photos or videos that are embarrassing or malicious about a particular person. Also excluding them from online games or groups. Stealing a person's accounts to share messages that are harmful to everyone else. So the effects of cyberbullying on you are quite real. They can make you feel very sad, depressed, anxious, alone or afraid. You might have problems concentrating in school, college, university or work, or finding it hard going to these places to do your daily business. And this can obviously affect your education and learning throughout your life. And your appetite may suffer. Your particular appetite for food, relationships. You may lose interest in your hobbies that you normally enjoy and become the main part of your life. And also you can become very isolated from other people. And as you know, this form of isolation can cause a lot of loneliness because you've got no one else to share your thoughts and feelings with. And this can eventually, sometimes for some people, lead to what we know is a form of self-harm. Because self-harm, for many people, gives them an opportunity to express their painful, difficult feelings and emotions by harming themselves because they're unable to express them in other healthy ways. So it really does have quite an impact on your life as a whole. As cyberbullying happens online, it can often be hard to notice that it goes on for quite a while and then a person suddenly realises what's happening to them. So it may not be obvious at first. And it can cause real difficulty with your sleeping and general eating. You might have problems switching off the phone, getting off social media at night, and things playing on your mind so you can't have a clear head in order to be able to sleep. Generally, throughout your daily life, you might struggle with what we call a loss of confidence in everything, in yourself and everything you do. And not having enough sleep and being your life being taken up with this problem of being cyberbullied, you can become very irritable and create and a lot of anxiety can be created in your life, which is not good for you. And you may get more withdrawn from other people, thinking they won't understand. I won't be able to give them my time to be able to share how I really feel. So you become very secretive about what's going on for you, what you're thinking and feeling, and also very possessive, perhaps more possessive than you've ever been about your phone and wanting to use it 24/7. And so your life with face-to-face contact with other people, with the outside world, really suffers due to this problem. And you might end up having more new phone numbers and email addresses on your phone that you don't want, and you're just unable to control them. So this leads on to what I want to talk about, what we call cyber trauma. That's obviously quite an impact due on your life due to being cyberbullied. And cyber trauma can impact on our general mental health. This takes place by viewing dangerous and violent content online. This can often be due to you as a young person or as a young adult not getting your needs met offline. So there's a question, isn't there, to think about: am I getting my general needs as a human being in my daily life met? Otherwise, I can be tempted to go online and suffer this kind of abuse and bullying as a result, because you become more vulnerable and at risk when you're cyberbullied. You need to ask yourself some questions. Do you feel different online? If you do, why? There are some very serious ongoing questions to ask yourself in terms of what is the feed doing for you. In other words, the content, what you're looking at, what you're listening to, what you're watching, how is it affecting your feelings and emotions? And also, what are you posting about yourself? We have a responsibility, don't we, to make sure that we are very responsible in what we're posting online to other people about ourselves and about them. And I've been told by experts it takes just 19 seconds to groom a young child online, and that is an incredible thought, how easy social media can have quite an impact on us as human beings. So we need to remember the real dangers and risks of being traumatized online. So what's being impacted on you? Is it something good or is it bad? If it's bad, what are you doing about it? Are you taking action, talking to someone about it, and not keeping it to yourself? And then the positive things about social media that we need to remember is that it's there to help to educate us. And if we can learn to control social media in a positive way in our own life for ourselves, then we can learn about the real positives of how it can educate us for good. And some age ratings are not appropriate, so we need to find out the facts before engaging with them. That is another way that we can learn to educate ourselves. So asking yourself, what makes this content interesting for me? Will I be in danger to my mental health with constantly viewing this or listening to this content? So how can you get these questions that you're left with about social media answered offline to help you live a healthy and safe life from being bullied? So remember, there are quite a lot of guidelines out there to be aware of, but if we're not going to use those guidelines, then we're going to suffer in the long term. Remember to be aware of these guidelines, and we need to build some what we call resilience in our life before any problems with our mental health start to impact us. And what I mean is we need to make sure that our minds and our emotions are in a healthy place, so that when we do start to feel things are going wrong, we can set our boundaries, and we can start to continue to feel in control of our life and not let any danger or poor risks online affect our life. And it's difficult for some young people who struggle with being shy, or even adults relationships face to face are difficult. So social media can be helpful to you, enabling you to explore more about who you are. In other words, by going online and listening to other people, talking to other people, you feel more safe in a safe place rather than talking face to face. And you can explore who you are online by talking to other people, sometimes in a more positive way than face to face. And those of you who have experienced some broken relationships, what I mean is your parents have split up, you've lost a family member perhaps through relationship a breakdown, or they've died. So you've got what we call early attachment issues. You're looking for some positive direction in your life through another adult or other people who can really support you, and that support you're not getting in daily life. So you look online to bring you some help in that area of your life. So that's another positive way you can educate yourself with the online world. So what are the dangers of what we call algorithms that are a part of social media? And they do and can cause a lot of what we call cyber trauma. Well, algorithms are a set of instructions online that you're asked to follow, and some algorithms that are negative or dangerous can lead to grooming you by constant contact and feedback with your involvement with them. So some examples are like if you've used slot machines in your life at fun fairs or on the high street or anywhere, you get the right outcome to start with, but it encourages you to have another go. And then gradually you find that you don't get the right outcome, that you end up losing out. So it encourages you to continue thinking that you'll get the money by using the slot machines when the money you get in the first place you lose in the long run. Another example can be adverts that are constantly impacted on you at regular intervals, like through our TV programmes. If we're not careful, they start to have quite an impact on our mind and we become addicted to them. And so we need to realise that we need to take back control of these things. We need to take back control of social media before it takes control of us. Because these things do play on our mind, and with other people who we mix with maybe, who have the same problem, they're not going to be a help to us. So what I'm saying is you need a healthy digital diet. Your social media needs to give you the things that positively educate you. Learn to protect yourself by muting or hiding any unhealthy content. And remember, don't pause the harmful content or think, because they'll think that you're reading it and still interested in it, and they'll bring it back to you at a later date. And finally, go to the profile of something that you're looking at that helps you to focus on it, and skip all this scrolling which can draw you into risky content further on. So there's a few things there about what cyber trauma is, the dangers of algorithms, and also how you can be cyberbullied. So how can you protect yourself online? Well, you can do a number of things. You can do that by not posting personal information online, for example, passwords or your addresses. A lot of this is common sense, but people still need to hear it. Make sure you only give your mobile number to your relatives and close friends. And be very careful about sending images of yourself or friends. Block messages or filter spam messages to make sure you do not receive them in the future, especially if you think that they may be of harm to you. And it might lead to you needing to adjust your privacy settings on social media accounts so that only your friends and relatives see the details. So there's a few things there you can do to protect yourself. And then how can counselling help you? Well, counselling can provide that safe space for you to talk about your experiences of being cyberbullied or any problems that you're having with social media generally. It can help you build some emotional resilience. What I mean is it can help you set some boundaries, have a strong positive attitude towards these things that are not helpful to you. And it can help you put some safety boundaries in your life around using social media. The support you get involves taking your feelings seriously. So there may not be anywhere else where you can go where you feel people are taking your feelings seriously, but counselling can help with that. And it's not about retaliating to your bullies, collecting evidence by using reporting tools. That's another way that counselling can help you, and how to break free from the devices that create this cycle of ongoing harassment that you're struggling with. And it's about talking about all this to someone that you trust. And it's quite hard sometimes to find someone you trust, and it's difficult to know whether you've got someone online that you trust. So going to a counsellor face to face can really help in this way. And learn that it's not your fault that you're in this position where you've been bullied on social media, if you've become a victim, because you have a right to feel safe when using any form of social media. And it is important to look for other people who can support you during this time. And the counsellor can help you do that. Friends that can support you during this difficult time, how you can reach out to them if you've been struggling with that. And counselling can help you look at the context as to why you have been a target and your response to the things that you've experienced online, why and how you've responded to them the way you have. And during this time of any form of cyberbullying, it's very easy for a person to become quite low in their self-esteem, self-confidence, because they've been crushed during these very painful, difficult, risky things that they've experienced. Counselling can help you get some coping techniques to reduce the negative impact of the bullying, and not only through online bullying, but also maybe in your life generally. You're going through a difficult time where you feel you're being bullied, so counselling can really help you by giving you some coping techniques to cope with these difficult experiences. And also, counselling can give you some positive role models in your life. They can direct you to people who can set positive examples for your behaviour, attitudes and lifestyle. Because as you know, online we've heard so much negative stories and people who are very negative role models, and they're quite toxic in a lot of the things they say and do, and that's not very helpful to anyone. And as I said before, if you've struggled with broken relationships, with an absent parent, then counselling can really help you with that early attachment struggle that you've been having throughout your life. And finally, the counsellor will help you develop a plan of action that you can agree with to help you feel more empowered as a human being when using social media, rather than feeling some shame from your experiences and being totally negative about it. So a little bit to finish, practical advice. Don't retaliate by making a situation worse and responding the same way as any bully does towards you, online or even offline. Recognise the importance of collecting screenshots of conversations and things bullies have said to form some evidence before reporting it. So you can do that online, and that's taking responsibility for the way that you're being treated. And using positively reporting tools on social media platforms as and when necessary. There's a lot of guidelines about how to use tools online to report negative, risky, dangerous bullying behaviour that may exist. So also with any form of social media, remember it's important for you to take breaks to reduce the negative impact on you, because otherwise your anxiety and stress will build up, and that's no good for you as a human being. And that helps you to take back control. All this helps you to feel more in control as a person, to use social media positively, and to know what responsibility you can take in order to protect yourself from any form of bullying or harassment. I hope this podcast has helped in some way, and I hope to talk to you again sometime soon. Bye for now.